Hi, welcome to the Tom Lasseter podcast. Today we're going to talk about sawdust in food, which is one of my favorite topics. First, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Lasseter Grasslands Beef. You can find them online at www.lgbeef.com and read all about it. Anyway, so I started learning about sawdust in food a few years ago, and then I realized that it's literally in everything. And of course, they don't call it sawdust because you wouldn't buy food that said sawdust on the ingredient label, would you? So they call it cellulose. And the industry claim is that cellulose is generally regarded as safe, which means they have no idea what it does to you in large quantities. And it's made from an industrial process similar to making polyester. So you can go Google, how is cellulose made? How is food grade cellulose made? And learn all about it. And you might end up deciding that you actually would prefer simple sawdust to be mixed into your food. So why do they do this? Well, the reason that any food ingredient is added to food is, or I should say, the reason any non-food ingredient is added to food is because it's cheaper than what it's supposed to replace. So cellulose is cheaper than wheat. So they use it to make bread and they call it added fiber. Oh boy, fiber's good for you, right? And so what other properties does cellulose have? Well, it happens to have the same properties of fat and sugar for mouthfeel. So they can sell something that's chocker block full of cellulose and they can say reduced fat or less sugar, and it still has the same wonderful mouthfeel properties. And so this is one of those interesting things where the food industry has spent millions or billions of dollars creating these products that have these special mouthfeel qualities that make you want to eat more of said product or make it taste the same as it should have tasted with expensive products that have been replaced with cheap things, which aren't really food. So I think, and I'll look up this doctor's name, but this was the first time I've ever heard it explained this way. And I think it's very interesting that when you go into the grocery store, a lot of the things that are sold there are not food, but you go in there to buy food, and so you buy a bunch of stuff, and you don't realize that many of the things that are being sold there are just simply not food. They are creations that you can eat, but they're not strictly food. So anyway, I think it's very interesting. If you start to look at the packaging on cookies, bread, anything that says low fat, low sugar, you'll find that a lot of them contain cellulose. And the industry will say, well, celery has a lot of cellulose. And that's true. So, if you want to eat some cellulose, I would suggest that you go chop up a bunch of celery and make yourself some salad dressing and eat a whole bowl of celery. And that's a good thing. That's good cellulose. But I'm telling you, after you eat a bowl of celery, you're not going to want to eat another bowl of celery because your body will tell you, hey, I've had my dose of cellulose for this week. But with packaged food products, you're getting this passive dose of cellulose, which, by the way, I can guarantee you is not the same as the cellulose you're getting from celery. You're getting this passive dose of this man-made cellulose in everything that you eat. So was your body really built to process all of this cellulose? So anyway, that is the end of the big cellulose discussion, and I look forward to chatting with you next time about some other amazing thing in the food industry. Thank you. Bye.